Let's first of all talk about being named Pitcher of the Week. Is that a curse? Is that a good thing? I'll start with David. Was that a good thing when you were named Pitcher of the Week?
Oh, I think it was definitely a good thing. You know, it's we both work hard all week, every week, and so it's good to have it show on the field. And so I thought it was a good recognition to have, not only for me but for our defense who played well behind us and got us a win. So.
Does it put a target on your back for your next outing?
Absolutely.
Drew? Yeah. Do you like that though?
Yeah. Like for instance, last weekend when we were in St. Louis, some of their guys were asking our guys like, "Oh, you have Mitrisin on your team." Well, they didn't say Mitrisin; they missaid it. But
sure.
Yeah. So I think guys around the conference know who we are, and it's exciting. And it's good to have the competition wanting to beat you.
You guys have been a really nice 1-2 punch, and I think that the pitching has had to carry the baseball team a little bit this year. And does that again put a little pressure on you for each and every start?
Yeah, it just puts pressure on us to just do the best we can every time. You know, we can't take days off or pitches off at all. So I think it just motivates us even more.
Drew, I know you've filled several roles on the staff this year, starter, reliever, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, do you have a particular role you like best?
Oh, I like starting, definitely. And just trying to set the tone for the whole weekend, especially starting that first game is always fun.
Yeah.
And usually, you know, if I pitch a good game, hopefully that gets the ball rolling for the rest of the weekend and gets us momentum. So I think that's the best role.
If you are starting, do you prefer to start the 7 or the 9-inning games?
I always ask for the 7, but I never get it. I always get the 9.
Yeah, I usually get the 7s, but you know, when either of us have the 7s, the games are so fast. So we kind of like being able to get out there and be done just like that. So.
Right. Do you ever envy Drew that he gets to play a position or hit a little bit? Do you want to get a stick in your hand and go out there and take your axe?
You know, especially with some of the games we've had this year, I always just look around. You know, I kind of bug coach a little bit, saying, "Oh man, I should be out there," but he never lets me. Of course,
you've got 10 seconds to make your case. Why should you get an at bat?
Well, I was a summer league all-star DH.
There you go. That's
so. I think that's all there is to say about that.
Okay, very good. Would you rather be an everyday player at a position, or is pitching the thing that if you got to manage that you would always have to do?
Well, I would love to just pitch every game.
Right.
But yeah, I would love to be an everyday player. I just want to play all the time.
Right.
I think if David was left-handed, he probably would get to bat a little bit. But I think it's nice to have a lefty bat in the lineup.
Okay, scouting report on each other now, okay? I want you to cross-reference each other here a little bit and tell me what makes David Collins a good competitor, Drew.
Well, David Collins has the same composure all the time, and that's probably the biggest key we talk to the young guys about is David doesn't get rattled at all. And, you know, if something happens in the field behind him or if something happens and he gives up a home run or something, so what? You know, it's the next pitch, and yeah, I think that's what David Collins is like come to be known for.
Okay. How about the same question on Drew Mitrisin?
I think Drew's confidence is huge. He's out there just in your face, in the hitter's face all the time, and when he's on, which is a lot, you're kind of out there like watching, like okay, they're not going to score at all on him. He's just in your face a lot, and he really attacks the hitters, and it's a good presence to have on the mound.
How are you like a Drew, and how are you different from Drew, other than what you just said?
Well, I think we both have that confidence. I think he shows a little bit more emotion out there, which, you know, that's just how I pitch and how he pitches. But I think he can get real fired up, which is good to see.
How are you like David?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this. We talk a lot about the mental game, and I think David and I are completely different pitchers physically, but mentally we're on the same page. We're doing everything pretty much the same.
Give me an example.
Well, I mean, we talk about sticking to our plan of getting ahead in counts, but we talk about hype levels and just staying focused and intense on every pitch. I don't know. Do you have an example?
I think just our overall mindset. You know, we've been working on it for 3 or 4 years about just pressing from pitch number 1 of the entire game. So.
Right. What's the funniest thing you've seen the other guy do?
Oh, man.
That could be aired, of course.
one thing that I thought was just really funny and it was just a great situation was we won conference our redshirt freshman year, and Drew got the last out, and there's this picture and just the image in our minds of our big first baseman, Clark O'Dowd, just sprinting at Drew, just tackling him. And so, yeah, Drew on the bottom of the dog pile and then Clark on top of him, which is a pretty funny situation.
How about for you?
I don't even know. I mean, we live right next to each other, so we're hanging out all the time, and we're usually talking about baseball, but there's a lot of funny things that happen. And he lives with Clark, and I live with Jesse Gray, and there's just banter all the time about,
I can imagine.
you know, between pitchers and hitters and about video games or anything. Yeah, so just David's comments every once in a while.
For either of you, or both of you, the jump to NCAA Division II. I mean, in terms of wins or losses, it's been a kind of a difficult transition, but I'm sure the experience has been something to talk about. I'm sure that the level of play has risen a little bit. But what's your overall reflection on the move to the NCAA?
I think it's been good. The teams we play, they're, you know, the talent level may be the same, but they're deeper. The lineups are deeper. The pitching staffs are deeper. I think it's a good challenge for us right now. We're at the top of the NAIA, of course, but now we got to climb to the top of Division II. So it's a good challenge, I think.
Yeah, I think the same thing. He touched on lineups being tougher, and I think these lineups are more complete in that in the NAIA you'd face teams where you could really dial it up for 3 batters and then cruise through a couple innings. And, of course, like, we used to play 7-inning games all the time, so they would just, you know, if you make the first punch and score a couple runs, you just need to cruise, and it's tougher with these long games.
Yeah.
But
what's the thing you'd like people to know about Jewel baseball that maybe they don't know?
I think we're one of the hardest working teams in the country, and you know we work hard every single day.
In terms of what? Because I know you put in long hours. Is that the only thing?
Well, I think just our practices they're tough. We do everything as hard as we can go. I also think we might be one of the funniest teams in the country. We comment on that a lot. We're always just like us in the rooms. We're always just bantering at each other and being obnoxious. So it's fun to be around. So
what do you think, Drew?
Yeah, I think we self-anointed ourselves the preseason #1 funniest team in the nation, and I think we've lived up to that. But as far as the baseball program, I think people don't understand how it prepares you to be a man, and it prepares you for life after college. And I think some of the things we've learned by talking to Coach and having tough practices really prepares us for, you know, meeting those daily challenges in life.
Speaking of a life after baseball, you turned down a chance to go to Georgetown, and you're going to return for your senior year of baseball, again being a redshirt pitcher. What was that like? What was the decision like? And what are your options for the future now?
Well, I would really like to maybe apply for the Peace Corps throughout the next year. And then the decision, I mean, the day I made the decision, just looking at some of the guys like Chris Mancha, I saw him that morning, and the younger guys that are really fun, really good to be around, good kids, Billy Kirkpatrick, Hunter Bingham, those guys, like, I looked in their eyes and I was just like, man, I'm not going to pass up a chance to do it with these guys one more time. And I was just thinking about this. David and I will be catch partners for 5 years. And
is that right?
I feel like there's a lot of people that have, you know, that might be one of the longest running catch partners in the history of baseball.
Could be.
So.
What are your plans for the future, Dave?
Well, I haven't, you know, it's still up in the air. I'm a business major. I'm hoping to get involved somehow in sports, whether it be going to grad school somewhere and being maybe a grad assistant or somehow getting involved in the athletic department. So it's still up in the air, but hopefully play baseball as long as I can.